No, you are not an empath, you're codependent. Yeah, these are freaking hard words to listen to because maybe it doesn't sound so nice. Well, guess what? Neither is what you're doing to yourself. So let's cut to the chase. What is an empath and what does it mean to be codependent? So, can you be an empath or are you really codependent? In my experience, far more people that exhibit codependent tendencies like to sound special by not claiming that label, but by saying that they're an empath. Empaths are a fairly new term, and it comes from the root word empathy. Empathy, in my definition, means to feel with someone, to experience what they're experiencing, to have intuitive or psychic gifts to be able to pick up another person's emotions, thoughts, attitudes, just by being connected to them energetically. That doesn't always have to mean that you're connected in time and space, but that usually has a starting point. Now, to be a real empath, you have to do that from a place of self-honor and self-love, which means you can't abandon your own needs, your own wants, your own investment in yourself to connect with these other people, to think about what else somebody might be experiencing, to be so, wrapped up in somebody else's experience that you take on their own emotions that you basically abandon yourself. Codependency is a term that we see more in the psychology field rather than in more of the new age space that the term empath exists. So there may be some crossover just because it's a different word in different spheres of practice. So codependency has to do with when somebody is interacting with another person and this other person seeks to get their needs met from party A. So a lot of times what happens is that other person is an addict, alcoholism, drug addiction, whatever the case may be, and then this codependent comes along, they have a relationship with them. Maybe they're romantically involved, maybe they're child and parent, or parent and child, might be two very good friends, but the codependent person basically has their own problems about taking care of themselves that they aren't comfortable looking at or dealing with, that come from a place of worthiness and not believing that they deserve certain things. So they avoid that and they look away, don't look away. You know, they can't stand that. So they focus their healing, instead of on themselves, they focus it on other people and this person and that person that won't do anything to take care of themselves, aka alcoholics, drug addicts, whatever the case may be. So can you start to see how there's this overlap that's starting to happen? Yeah, like peanut butter and jelly, like, this is looking good. So yeah, what am I even saying? Well, this is looking good. Ugh. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, so in truth, if we're gonna cut this down to like real firm, close definitions, an empath is a person that can pick up other people's feelings, emotions, thoughts, using intuitive and psychic gifts, and they can be in proximity with somebody or not immediately near them, but because they've connected energetically, they can tune into that other person and experience the exact same feelings and thoughts that that person is experiencing. A codependent person is someone who abandons their own needs in an effort to fix or feel or support or heal somebody who they believe is worth fixing. So say I am looking at Jill over here and I know that she drinks a lot and I can see that she deserves this better life and I really care about her, but meanwhile I've got this inner wounding, we'll call it, the childhood inner wounding loop, that keeps me stuck in relationships that don't really take care of me, that aren't respectful of me. And Jill over here is just not very nice to me. She takes things out on me. She constantly asks me for things. She's basically a user and a taker. And meanwhile, I'm over here thinking that I have to be nice to everybody. I can't stand rejection or abandonment. So I'll do whatever to make her happy because I'm seeking acceptance. And that is the problem. She has gotten it in her mind subconsciously that this stuff is going on. She doesn't know it consciously. That's the tricky part about the codependency, am I really an empath relationship? Because they'll think when they read these things on Pinterest or, you know, on Instagram, they'll see these graphics that say, you know, empath probs, feeling things so intensely that you just want to go to sleep. Oh yes, that's me. Or any number of other things.
Here's the deets. Every relationship you have with everyone else comes back to the relationship with yourself. And in this case, your intuition has been screaming the truth at you, but you've been stuck in this specialness, this ego empath space, because it's better to feel special than deal with your shit. So in the meantime, your boundaries are being sacrificed. It's impacting your career and every relationship you have. The self-love you think you're giving yourself, or maybe you don't even know what it means, is never going to be truly loving if you keep abandoning you and you aren't investing in yourself. Being cut off from your feelings, there's a split between your head and your heart, and you're ignoring your emotions or just flat out avoiding them. If you aren't doing shadow work, or if you're not even familiar with it, your ability to empathize is never going to be it's never going to be at its best. Let's say that. So if you think you're an empath, but you can't deal with all of your own uncomfortable emotions, let me be clear, boo. You ain't no empath, and you aren't even empathizing. You're absorbing their energy. You're taking on their pain. And in turn, you are unintentionally attempting to use that energy for attention to heal the part of you that you've disconnected from. But because this energy ain't yours, the wounds you carry aren't being healed. And it's a cycle that just ain't going to end until you look at you and start investing.
So my message here is take a really hard look at yourself. If this is something that you found your way to, ask yourself, is there an area of my life that I'm not investing in for myself? My self-care, my self-love, my self-confidence, my relationships, my love life, my communication skills, my boundary setting, my career, my sense of purpose in the world, my calling, my intuition, my spiritual relationship with everything. Which of those is missing some investment for you? Because I guarantee you, you're not really an empath, but it sure sounds like it's a nice thing to call yourself when you don't want to admit that you've got problems yourself.